All
Love
right.
it.
Should we get
Cool.
started?
Let's jump in. Welcome, everyone. Do a quick intro. My name is Anya, quickly, and I am the head of our customer experience team. And really excited to intro my co host, Alexis. Alexis, what do you do at Let Us Grow?
Hi, everybody. I'm Alexis. I'm our creative director. I work on all of our marketing, so emails, social media. I hope you're following us on all of those channels. And I'm really excited to talk to you all about what we have lined up for summer. So, should we get into it?
Let's get into it. Yes. And also just want to say welcome back if you joined us in spring. We're super thrilled to be having our seasonal webinars and yeah, really excited to join to host again for summer. And first and foremost, Alexis, I know you put a ton of hard work into crafting our summer menu. Tell us what we have on deck.
Yeah, so I work very closely with Anya and our entire customer service team, as well as our horticulture team. Pretty much everyone is involved in this part because, let's be honest, it's what we're all here for, is curating our menus. So very excited to talk to you all about what we have coming up. First of all, we're breaking summer into two parts. So there will be two releases based on the hot temperatures that we see starting in July. So stay tuned for what's coming up in part two in just a couple minutes, but want to talk to you first about part one. So a great advantage to the farm stand is that you can grow lettuces in really hot weather. We suggest about up to 100 degrees. Although I can tell you from experience here in Los Angeles, here in East Hollywood particularly, it gets up to like 113, which I'm not looking forward to. And my lettuces actually do well. They're not the happiest at 113. We're going to have some tips for you of how to combat the heat. But you'll notice the lettuces we have here, we have intended for them to be resilient up to those higher temperatures, and then they will slightly shift again as we get into July. So all of our hardier lettuces, like a dazzling blue kale, those are going to hold up. The red leaf lettuce, the crunchy leaf lettuce, those are going to hold up a bit better in those hotter months. Um, so definitely keep that in mind when you're placing your harvest order, or sorry, your seedling order. And we're also going to talk about how to filter our seedling page to optimize your order. But here's what we have coming up. And the crunchy leaf lettuce and the baby leaf lettuce are new for this season. The crunchy leaf lettuce is so good. It's just really refreshing again for these warm summer months. And it's going to add a lot of texture and bite to your salads. Um, Kind of in the way that a romaine does. And then the baby leaf lettuce mix, I like this for, really delicate salads to go with a on the side of a sandwich or on top of an omelet, just to get some greens on your plate, in the way that, you're familiar with any kind of more small or baby lettuces might be. Again, great for people that are not more willing to eat greens. It's just a great way to get those in the mix.
I
And then
love it.
we have all of our herbs. I've been hearing nonstop texts from my family about spearmint being back on the menu, so that is going to be back on shipping as of 6/23. Of course, I'll be putting that in all of my lemonades and um, for your cocktails, Anya. We also have several favorites back on the menu, like dill. Our head of horticulture is a firm believer that dill should be on the menu all year long. We definitely want that in our potato salads for barbecues, etc. Cutting celery, it's great for juicers. It doesn't have that really thick stalk, so it's going to be much easier to blend. Highly recommend trying that one if you haven't before. Basil, always high in demand. Anything, and then chives, which is new for the season as well. Anything you're excited
I'm
to
super
hear on?
excited. Yes, I was saying I'm so excited to see chives on the menu because I am not the best cook, but when I do have my omelet in the morning, I love a chive. It just, adds a great garnish. It makes me feel like I'm a celebrity chef. And Alexis, you actually told me an incredible trick. how about you tell everyone else? Because my mind was blown.
You guys will have to YouTube, TikTok, search this, etc. Maybe we'll have to come out with an Instagram video, but you basically roll your chives in a wet paper towel so that they don't slide off the cutting board when you're trying to get that really small, like minced chop that you're talking about for something like an omelet. It's like a chef hack that I learned, and you'll never want to cut your chives without doing it again. So everyone go look that up. And like I said, maybe we'll have to make an Instagram video about it. But yeah, super excited. And then this is probably the most fun page for the season. I mean, summer, there's so many unique veggies that you can grow because of the warm weather. It kind of works both ways. It's a little harder for some of the lettuces, but then again, if you're growing outdoors, and many of these are indoor friendly, our greenhouses are able to grow the seedlings that we're then shipping to you, and you can grow incredible stuff like these zucchinis, which I know you had asked me earlier, Anya. They're full size. We have people post on social media that they're growing zucchinis literally the size of their forearm. Um, which is insane, and you're gonna get several of them. We did just post a really delicious pasta recipe for zucchini on our Instagram and TikTok, so take a look there if you want some inspiration. But other fun things here, you'll see asterisks by what is new. So patty pan squash, that's something I never see at the grocery store. I see it at the farmer's market, and I always grab it because I just think it's so cute and it's fun to grow things that your friends are going to be like, what is that? Like, you can imagine how great that would be on the grill. Um, we have strawberries, which people literally ask us for all year round. When are strawberries going to be on the menu? Well, they're going to be on the menu, shipping 6/23. So this is your opportunity. Those are great indoors or outdoors. And then for um, Tomato Girl Summer, it is forever Tomato Girl Summer during the summer here at Let Us Grow. We have two kinds for you. We have the dwarf cherry tomato, which is ideal for our indoor growers, can also be grown outdoors. And then our indigo cherry tomato, which is just kind of this beautiful yellow purple tomato. Um, and I actually learned from our director of horticulture that there's kind of two ways tomatoes fruit. There's determinate and indeterminate. So our dwarf cherry tomatoes are determinate, which means they're going to fruit and ripen at the same time, and you're going to get one big tomato harvest. Whereas the indigo cherry tomatoes are indeterminate, and they are going to kind of ripen at various times. So you're going to get like this long span of a harvest. So if I'm growing outdoors, but if I were growing indoors, what I would do is plan to order my dwarf cherry tomatoes a few times throughout the summer so that I'm constantly have that harvest available to just pick off because they're so delicious. I mean, they the strawberries like legitimately taste like candy, but our cherry tomatoes, they're so sweet. If you guys haven't had them, it's amazing. Like kids go crazy for them. Yeah.
I love it. I mean, all of these additions for summer are amazing. I think every time I go to the farmer's market in the summer, it's always my goal to try and buy, the weirdest shaped, craziest color. And so it's, vegetable. And so it's awesome to see the patty pan squash and the indigo cherry tomato. I think impressing your friends with what you're growing in the farm stand or counter stand is just part of the experience. And so it's really exciting. I'm pumped for this.
Yeah, I can only imagine like a panzanella salad or a niçoise salad being just so much more fun served with the indigo cherry tomato or, serrano peppers for our thrill seekers. Tried those out for summer, so we'll see how you guys like those as opposed to a jalapeno. But just wanted to kind of turn up the heat for these summer months. And then, of course, mini cucumbers, which if you haven't tried growing the mini cucumbers on the farm stand yet. They're truly prolific. I think one of our team members grew like 200 on his outdoor farm stand last year and was joking that he was going to start a pickle company. They just really, really love the farm stand, so I highly recommend trying those as well.
Awesome. And then flowers, which also part of our menu, as always. One of the best things and coolest facts that I love to tell people about our flowers is that they are edible. So not only are they beautiful to look at and are great for bouquets, but you can actually really flex on your friends and your families by adding them as a garnish. And yeah, tell us more about them. I know, Alexis, we've talked about your favorite ways to use the edible flowers, but what are you imagining for this summer?
Yeah, I'm really excited. We'll talk about our counter stand in just a minute, but to transport my beautiful marigolds from the farm stand where it's going to grow really fast into my counter stand and just set that on my dining table or in the living room as a beautiful centerpiece for people to enjoy. But also, what I've enjoyed learning is that not only are the flowers edible, but all parts of these plants are edible. So anytime you grow flowers on the farm stand, know that you can make teas out of the leaves and stems. That's really interesting to learn what that flavor is like, also just from a zero waste point of view. But of course, we love picking the colorful leaves off, putting it in salads. It helps, especially with kids, getting them to eat things like a salad, um, or even myself. To, eat a salad. I also love putting them in a cocktail or mocktail just to feel like I'm traveling to Hawaii or, somewhere a bit more exciting than my own living room. But yeah, definitely love telling people about our edible flowers because people are not always aware of them. And on that note, you'll see our 4 seedlings that we're launching in July as part of that summer part 2 menu. So the sunflower is actually a plant that we've never offered before for the farm stand. So that is really cool. Our horticulture team is growing them all right now and testing them out. And there's several flowers on both indoor, outdoor, nook, farm stands. So they are super happy. You can eat all parts of the sunflower. I was doing some research, like what the heck do you do with the big middle part? There's some really creative ideas out there. Or again, you can just use them as a display piece for fun. Lemon basil, oh my God, I can only imagine how delicious that's going to be with pasta or just a piece of cheese. Mini eggplant. I think I always grow our mini eggplant just because of the wow factor. My neighbors and my mail lady are always so impressed that I can grow something like an eggplant, which I could have never done before the farm stand, which is a whole nother story. But mini eggplant, yeah, I think I got like 8 to 10 last year. Those are really cool, super cute, great for grilling for sure.
Yes.
And then mini red bell pepper, which haven't been on the menu for at least 3 years. You guys asked us to bring them back, which we'll talk about in a second. So they must have been a huge hit, and I'm definitely adding those to my seedling order.
I love it. Yeah, those are going to be, in addition to the cherry tomatoes, just a perfect kind of grab and go snack. I love it. And as you mentioned, part of our menu creation and having you all be able to contribute to what we actually release, we have continued to make some really great improvements on our website. Part of that is really enhancing your farm stand and counter stand experience, not just with the growing but also how you use the produce that you grow. And so next slide, we just want to highlight that we house over 200 recipes on our website. Our team will put the link in the chat so that you always have that, you can go back and access it. Something that I love about this, as someone who is not an amazing cook, and I think sometimes you type in a recipe, you get a whole blog attached to it. These recipes are amazing. The sorting is fabulous. You can sort based on, snacks, salad, condiments. I eat a lot of salads. And so being able to have a bunch of different dressing options is great for me. But Alexis, yeah, anything else you want to add about the menu? I know we have really incredible curated recipes from chefs, and I know that our marketing team does a lot of work to make sure that they're in line with our current menu in the season.
Yeah, so if you're getting our emails, if you're on our app, following us on Instagram, you're going to see seasonal recipes that we suggest. You can always go back to this page. We're going to drop a link in the chat, which we'll be doing for a large part of this webinar is dropping some resources for you all, but this is super easy to find on our website. I really like looking at the condiments for when I'm like, oh my God, what do I do with an insane amount of oregano or mint or basil? Always giving me good ideas there. Which especially now that I have my counter stands, my herb supply is just on tap. Um, but this is really fun. I mean, this is the most exciting part of my job because although I do love growing and it's such a meditative experience for me most of the time, I really love what I can cook for myself and for my friends. And it's just so fun to be able to make my friends and family recipes that are made with farm stand ingredients and just impress them and wow them. And it feels like it's made with even more love than food, that's shared typically is. So highly recommend checking that out. We'll move on. I love talking about food and recipes, clearly, but there's more here to get through. So couple other website features. If you're on our spring webinar, we went over this. I'm just going to talk about it briefly again. If you looked at the menu and you're like, oh man, where's this or that? We want that feedback from you. We have a voting feature now on our seedlings page where you'll literally see a button that says bring it back with a heart next to it. And if you hit that, we get that information and we go, oh my God, people want these mini red bell peppers that we haven't offered for 3 years and then we bring it back. So we want your feedback. We also are putting the actual release dates on the seedling page. We're trying to get farther and farther in advance with that so that you can plan your harvest and say, okay, I'm going to order tomatoes now, eggplants later, yada yada. When you're looking at our site and really design a menu specifically for you and your eating style. Since we last were all here together on our webinar, and I hope you all will continue to enjoy and join these webinars, we've also launched two new filters on our seedling page. So you can, again, decide, is romaine good for me? Like, is it going to be successful in my climate right now? We have an incredible back end to our website that's able to decide the temperature in your zip code if you're growing outside and if that plant is actually going to be successful for you right now. So you'll see there's an indoor outdoor toggle, and then if you're growing outdoor, you'll put in your zip code and we'll let you know. Also, now that we have the counter stand, which again we'll talk about briefly in just a minute, um, you're not going to be able to grow eggplants in there, unfortunately, but there are at least 20 seedlings that we're currently offering, and I'm sure that that offering will continue to grow. So just make sure to toggle that filter on and off when you're looking to order seedlings for your counter stand.
Love it. And one quick shout out, Sherry in the chat. This is actually brilliant, and I don't know if we have this recipe within our collection, but we were talking about dill, we were talking about the mini cucumbers, and also just what do I do with plethora of oregano. And Sherry said that a quick pickling liquid is a great
Mm,
way to use up little bits of garden produce and or extra herbs. She typically has a quart or two at a time and keeps in the fridge for a couple of weeks. That is brilliant. And I am always trying to figure out how to just start pickling my, leftover extra produce. So
that's genius.
Sherry will be, yes, that is genius. Your brilliant mind. Send it to us or we can be in touch because that's a fabulous solution.
Yeah, for like a
Um,
summer sandwich or banh mi,
yes,
something. Yeah, I love that. You
so
guys are
good.
so smart. Well, speaking of more things you guys have asked for, app updates. Thank you for bearing with us. We launched a new beautiful website. It's just been a bit tricky to connect the logins with the app, so that will all be taken care of by the 1st of July. And things are going to look a lot more current and updated. So the app is just going to keep getting better and better. By the end of the summer, we'll have released several additional updates, making it easier for you to find your orders, find help resources, browse these recipes, as your zucchinis are ready. We already suggest recipes for you. Everything will just be much easier to find. Um, so again, thanks for your patience with that. We love hearing your recipe ideas. We really want to hear if you have any app ideas or any other feedback for us. So um, feel free to drop that in the chat as well. Our internal team is reading everything. So this is a great time to give us any feedback, and we'll definitely make sure that it's heard and implemented. So that's really important to us.
Definitely. Please feel free to share as much detail as possible. I know I've done some really awesome connects with some of our growers, and everyone has had really interesting and unique suggestions on how to really enhance the app and make it truly that pocket growing companion. So anything that you think would make a new grower's experience smoother or just high in the sky, this would be awesome to have a video content here. Let us know. We're all ears. And yeah, something that we really want to focus on this year is just really enhancing our experience, and your experience is our priority. So definitely let us know.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Well, speaking of experience, the farm stand is something that is enjoyed by people, not just at home, but by many classrooms around the nation. If you're not already aware, we've donated around, I think, over 3,000 or more farm stands to classrooms and other nonprofit organizations since Let Us Grow has been in business. We're not able to donate to everyone, and we hear a lot of demand for getting farm stands in more classrooms because of just how impactful it is, especially on kids. And, we can talk about why they enjoy it so much, but they really do. And so if there are teachers, parents, um, organizations near you that are interested in getting a farm stand, we offer some special discounts and curriculum and resources for those types of users. And we have team members that are really dedicated and passionate about this particular topic. So we're going to drop a link here if that's of interest to you. It's also always in the top navigation and I believe the bottom navigation of our website. So this has a lot more information that you can read through, or again, just share it with anyone who you think might be interested.
Awesome. Great. And then we talked about this last session, but just want to give her the praise she deserves, which is, again, we have a brand new system, a new product, which is our counter stand, and we're selling it as a set. And Alexis, I know that you really helped with the launch of the counter stand. I could sing its praises forever about why it's an amazing product for me in my small New York City apartment. But would love to hear, from you, what makes it so special, and yeah, tell us about it.
Yeah, so our goal with this product was really just to make growing and enjoying your own food at home more accessible. So that comes from the standpoint of price as well as size. So I talked to a lot of people who are growing their own food for the very first time with the counter stand and just how exciting that experience is for them. On that note, it's an awesome gift. Everyone I know is getting a counter stand set this year. Lucky them. But also, if you already grow your own food, like I have my outdoor farm stand, I love this addition because I can grow all of those big lettuces and eggplants and all the fun things we talked about outside. Meanwhile, I'm making my breakfast tacos and it's just boom, right there, a little pinch of cilantro. So I'm, without even thinking about it, just using more flavor in my cooking, just having it on hand. So I love that. it takes up such little space. It fits under most kitchen cabinets. It comes with this glow lamp, so you could be, growing in any scenario, really. It could be a dorm room. It could be, like I said, a kitchen or on your kitchen counter. It's just a really beautiful display. And we saw so many other countertop growing systems that were just like really clunky. They take up a lot of space. Um, like way back in the day, I had one. I was just like, where do I put this? And I think it ended up in my office, and then it fought for space with the printer, and it just didn't feel like something related to cooking or something beautiful that I wanted to show off. And it's just that vibrant green, having it in your kitchen really inspires so much creative cooking. So let's talk about what it includes. It comes with three counter stands, so you can always have the three plants that you're cooking with the most on hand. I like to have cilantro. I'm definitely going to be growing that lemon basil. And then I love our butter lettuce for this, especially for those hot summer months where it's 113 outside. Hopefully, that's only a couple of days, and I plan to be gone. But I'll be pulling off like a couple of pieces of butter lettuce for a BLT or just like I think we have a recipe on the site for shrimp larb lettuce cups, and
Ooh,
I've made it twice, and it's so, so good. So yeah, you
love
can grow lettuce indoors. Again, use that filter on the site. Um, you can also do edible flowers. Those will take a little bit longer. No veggies on this one. With the lamp, you're still gonna have harvest in 3 weeks. It's really fast, and then you can just snip off as much as you want, and it keeps growing. The lamp quality is just really premium. Our horticulture team loves to reiterate like the full spectrum quality of our LED is just really, really high. So between that and the high quality of the nutrients, that's what's going to perpetuate that really fast growth, and you're always going to have fresh harvests on hand. And then from there, there's just really simple organic cotton wicks that are going to draw the water and the nutrients up to the plant. And then when you're ready for more nutrients and wicks, you can order that Counterstand Essentials kit on our website, which we're going to drop the link to here. That includes the shipping price. And we also have a refill kit, which includes the credit for three seedlings, which also includes the shipping price, which is a really great deal. And this is, your herbs, your lettuces, they're gonna last for a really long time if you're harvesting about a third at a time and letting them grow back healthy before you're harvesting them each time. But sometimes, like, you might want to make a giant batch of pesto, or you might want to harvest the whole head of lettuce, and then you're going to need another plant. So that's when you're going
love
to want the counter stand refill kit. There's a lot more information about the counter stand on that product page. So if you haven't checked it out, definitely take a look. Like I said, it's a great gift. It's a great companion to your farm stand. We're just so, so excited about that product. If you have a really sunny windowsill too, you can get more counter stands eventually and put them in other places around your house without the lamp. Like there's just so many ways that you can use them. I feel like there's not enough time for me to talk about them on this call. But yeah, I
I
definitely encourage everyone to check that out and read the reviews. We just launched it. It's barely even been in stock, but just everyone's loving it so far.
The pictures are incredible. I mean, they really speak for itself. I know, again, hydroponic growing at first can be, overwhelming, but this really just simplifies everything. It is beautiful to look at. As you said, Alexis, it makes an incredible gift. I know what I'm getting my mom for her birthday in July. And so yeah, it's a game changer and I love it. Awesome. And then, as we've said before, truly our community is how we, say hi to more new customers. Truly one of our biggest ways that new people join, let us grow and start growing is through word of mouth, your friends, your family, your neighbor. And so we definitely want to make sure that if you are telling someone about Let Us Grow and they end up purchasing a farm stand from us, one, they will receive $125 off that farm stand purchase. and you will receive a $75 credit in return that you can use towards, accessories. We're going to talk a little bit about the cleaning kit, new seedlings, whatever you want. We're super, super grateful for the support. And as Alexis said, we're a small business. And so we love how much you love, growing with Let Us Grow. And we want to make sure that you're seeing a kickback from that.
Yes, and that you
And
can always find on the very top right of our website where it says Get 75. It's also accessible in the app. We put it in some email footers, but I love to tell people top right of the website, Get 75, just an easy way to remember how to find it. And you
100%.
can you can share your referral multiple times per month. So, you'll have a new counter stand set in no time if you're sharing that code out. And I'm sure you're talking about it a lot because I know when my farm stand is really thriving, it's like all I talk about. It's my whole personality. So,
I love it. I love it. And last but not least, well, not last but not least, but truly the meat of what we want to talk about today, why you all tuned in, is some tips and tricks for making the most out of growing this summer. So just like our spring webinar, we do have an exclusive thank you discount code for you all that is truly exclusive to this webinar. So you can use the code Summer Start for 20% off of a farm stand if you're interested in getting growing. Again, that
or if
is
you need
just
another farm stand.
for that exactly. So Summer Start is the code. You're just going to want to make sure that you use it by midnight this Saturday on the 21st. But truly, the amount of people that I've spoken to who have multiple farm stands, the Nook for the inside during winter, outdoor farm stand,
Or
we're excited.
inside during summer if we're in a hot desert area. When we were at Costco, Utah, Nevada, I mean, there were so many people that had moved from other states or loved a garden, but just not possible to do so because it's maybe 113 the entire summer. So, very popular to grow indoors all year round in areas like that. So yeah, that's a great, great discount. Definitely use that before it goes away because we don't offer those discounts, a discount that big many times a year. And then if you
No.
already have a farm stand or you're already happy with your setup, we know you need supplies. So you need seedlings, you need that cleaning kit, whether you know it or not yet. Once you try it, you'll never clean your farm stand without it again. And then the arbor kit, which we'll talk about each one. But that discount for you is going to be 15% off of this kit that you see here with code Summer Reset. Um, and you're going to save even a little bit more because the grow pack itself includes a discount on plants. So it pays to plan ahead, is what we say for your seedlings. So let's talk about this reset bundle and why it's relevant for summer growing. So, when you start a new season, you're going to want to give your farm stand a thorough clean, and especially when you start with new seedlings, a fresh tank of water, because it's just going to allow for your plants to properly uptake the nutrients, and they're going to be happier, healthier, more prolific. So, if you're hearing the story like, how did someone get 200 cucumbers? Um, I promise you it's possible. You've got to balance your water's pH. You need to be doing your nutrient maintenance. We recommend once a week. And then also you want to be resetting your farm stand. So with a Nook, we recommend every 8 weeks. And with the original farm stand, we recommend 12 weeks. The tank's a little bit bigger, so you can go a little bit longer. But that cleaning kit is just going to make your life so, so, so much easier. I forget exactly when we launched this, not more than 6 months ago.
Yeah.
But the cleaning solution is simply citric acid, and you're going to throw in a couple scoops of that. The bag's going to last you many resets, and it's just like a dishwasher. So you throw in the scoops, you're going to change your timer setting just to run continuously. And I just throw it in the scoops, I let it rinse, and then I kind of like look inside. Do I want to let it run longer, depending on how dirty your farm stand is? And you're just going to be blown away that you didn't have to scrub it quite as hard as you did before. We do offer the wooden brush just for like dense nutrient buildup that might be kind of on the outside around your cups or any like trickier areas. It's all wood, there's no plastic. I really love this brush. It's great to just have a dedicated brush for this. And so it's food safe, and then also branded towel for the same reason. When you're ready to reorder more cleaning solution, you can just buy the bag by itself. You don't need to buy the whole kit again. But the kit is part of this reset bundle. And then when you scan the QR code that you can see here in the unboxing experience, it'll show you a little video of everything I just talked about. So super easy to use. And then, of course, starting with fresh seedlings. So all the new exciting varieties that we talked about at the beginning of this call, you're going to want to place your summer seedling order. So let's talk about that. You can reference the replace by date on your plant ID labels to see like, okay, do I need to order 6 now? Do I need to order 12 more? Do I need to order my whole farm stand's worth of seedlings based on what plants you already have in your farm stand? So I like to do a little inventory first before I order my new plants. Um, and then, so let's talk about grow packs. We already had an 80 plant grow pack on our site, which a grow pack is just credits, and you're getting a discount for ordering those credits. Um, but this grow pack that's part of the reset bundle is 30. So it's much more manageable for a season. So, like if you have a 24 plant farm stand, like I do, for example, you can use 24 of those credits now, and then I can use a couple more in July when those new plants come in or to refill my counter stand, etc. So those grow pack credits just live in your account. And then when you go to check out, they'll just automatically apply to a future cart. So you don't even have to think about anything. It's a great investment. So highly encourage if you're going to order new seedlings for summer that you get this reset pack, which allows you to get only 30 of these grow pack credits at a time. And then, yeah, you'll just ensure that your harvests are flowing. So, like I said, maybe you're growing indoors, you always want to have tomatoes. You can order 1 or 2 tomato plants now, and you can order more later so that you always have something to reach for and enjoy for fresh meals. And then, lastly, just a quick tip you want to make sure that you're keeping your ports on your farm stand full. You don't want to let light and oxygen into your tank because that's when you're going to see pest pressure which leads me to my next tip, keeping pests at bay. So we get this question a lot if you haven't grown before, like, will there be pests? And the truth is, there might be. When you're inviting nature into your home, you're inviting all of nature. We typically see it more with indoor growers, especially people with indoor-outdoor pets. But since we have introduced this arbor kit, I mean, you can speak to this, Anya, but it was like
Yeah.
something that I would hear about frequently from your team, and it's
Yes.
like it doesn't even exist. The problem has just completely gone away.
100%. I mean, the people who, use Arbor are just so satisfied, as you said, Alexis. Using with or growing with organic methods, there's always a possibility of pests, especially if you are going in and out. But the Arbor kit, the team at Arbor has done an incredible job, making sure that the products that they use or that they create are safe. They're super sustainability minded, and customers who do end up using Arbor are really, really satisfied with the results. So we can't recommend it enough. We truly are constantly singing its praises. Um,
Yeah, so I
so
think this
that,
is great to get preventatively, especially for our indoor growers. Like I said, people with indoor-outdoor pets or many house plants where you're worried about, bugs jumping around. Go ahead and get it. And I think it's great for any, like our horticulture team would say, it's great for anyone to use. There's no disadvantage. And even if you're like, well, I don't really have a problem with bugs, well, we also offer this fungicide, which just helps with general plant health, combating any diseases. So I think it's like half a capful of each of these, and you can just spray it like again, if you're doing it preventatively, you can do it once every couple of weeks. If you're encountering pest pressure, you can do it more rigorously a few times a week. We're going to drop a link here so that you can read more about the Arbor Kit itself. But again, it's just a great offering on our site. And like Anya said, we love Arbor. Everything's organic. It's only the best quality, so you don't have to be worried about like what's going into your food. And there's a ton of information on them if you want to dig in further.
100%. And potentially, one of the most important tips that we have for our outdoor growers is making sure that we are updating our timer settings. We know in East Hollywood, it is going to be 113 degrees. The sun is super bright. And so we
Stop
need to make
reminding
sure.
me.
I was going to say, and in East Hollywood, you're not even by the beach. So Oy, oy, oy. So we need to make sure that we're adjusting our timer settings accordingly, making sure that our seedlings or plants are getting the adequate amount of water needed, to stay hydrated during the warm weather. We have in our help center, which on our website in the bottom right corner, you'll see a little icon, a little chat icon. You can access our help center by clicking that widget, and it'll pop up a kind of mini version of our help center, or in the footer and in the header of our website. So the top and the bottom of our website, we also have links to our help center where we have over 100 articles with videos and step-by-step instructions on everything from how do I identify this strange looking, leaf or pest, to, really recommended updates and settings for your timer. So take a look there. We can drop a link as well in the chat. And then Alexis, we are almost at time. How about you cap things off with truly the most essential hot weather tips straight from our horticulture team?
Yeah, so when we get to those temperatures around 100 degrees, it means that your plants just need more water than they typically do. So if you see them wilting during the day, there have been a couple times where I walk by my farm stand just taking out the trash or something, and I'm like, oh my God, my lettuce, like is my pump, did something happen? And then they're totally fine by nighttime. They're just kind of like, slouched over. They do drink significantly more water. So you're gonna want to check your tank. When it's really, really hot like that, I would recommend even twice a week, just kind of like peek inside, make sure, especially if you have 200 cucumbers fruiting that they haven't sucked up all your water that week. So take a look inside your tank and make sure that it's you have enough for your plant's needs. Like I said, if they look a little slumped over, they will perk up by the evening. It's not on this list, but I have heard tips where if it's really, really hot and like you just touch the temperature of your water and the water even feels warm or hot, you can throw a couple ice cubes in there or an ice pack. Like there's nothing wrong with doing that. I've never done that. My farm stands never needed it. But it is something you can do. Also, something to note when it does get really hot for our outdoor growers is plants are more likely to bolt, which just means that you'll start to see like, why is this plant growing flowers? Like, for
Mhm.
example, when I've let my broccoli or my broccolini keep growing past the winter season, I start to see those cute little yellow flowers. That also means my broccoli is about to be very bitter. So bolting, you can use those edible flowers, and I certainly suggest that you do. But it just means that your plant's going to be a little bit bitter as time goes on. So I would harvest them and plant a new plant in that port. Um, and then what else? You can harvest your plants in the morning or evening. And when I say harvest, I mean in that regard, cutting. So if I'm going to cut from my basil plant or cut from, any other plant, it is like, I don't want to say injuring the plant, but, it's exposing it. And so doing this in the morning or night will allow them to recover after those hours of intense heat. Similarly, when you're planting your seedlings, and we put this on a printed insert that you get with your seedlings. I also recommend planting your seedlings in morning or actually in evening to give them the most time to kind of adjust to the temperature, similar to how you might think about watering a lawn. Um, and then, yeah, if you're like really running into a heat issue, and all these are on a resource link that we're going to drop here, you can set your time. Like if you're seeing that really limp lettuce and you're like, I need it to perk up for whatever reason, just you're going to adjust your timer settings so that your pump is continuously on, which means it's going to draw a lot of water. But that is something you can do. That's kind of like a secret tip, but just FYI, there's tons of ways to mitigate this. And again, a unique feature to the farm stand is that you can grow in these extreme conditions. And of course, you can grow indoors if it's really extreme. But it definitely broadens the climates that you're able to grow outside. And then, of course, you can grow inside, which we see a lot of people that grow with our original farm stand with glow rings because then they're kind of moving indoors, outdoors through the year. So all of that to say, there's a solution wherever you're growing, however frequently you like to grow, we have a system for you. And we also have a quiz on our website, I should mention, and then I'm gonna jump to Q&A. There's a big button on our homepage, and actually, sorry, if our team member can drop it here, that would be great. If you have any friends that are like, I really want a farm stand, but I just can't decide which one. We have a quiz there, and that's also going to get a little bit of a makeover soon. So, again, just improvements all around. You can also reach out to our customer service team if you have any questions. We're always happy to help you and guide you. So, again, just a reminder, if you do want to get a new farm stand, whether it's your first one, your second one, 20% off with the code Summer Start. And then for that reset bundle we talked about that has the cleaning kit, the arbor kit, and the 30 grow pack credits, that's 15% off with code Summer Reset. And both of these expire Saturday night at midnight. So definitely use that soon. Take a screenshot. We'll send it to you in a follow-up email, but it's a great deal and designed just for you. So again, like if you guys have any feedback about what you're looking for, we designed this reset bundle in mind that you're going to reset your farm stand, you're going to need more seedlings. You're going to need to clean your farm stand before you plant those seedlings. So if you are like, oh, I really wish you would have done this type of bundle instead, let us know. Last season the bundle included an 80 credit grow pack, and we reduced it to just make it more affordable, more reasonable for you. So we want to hear all of your thoughts. We want to offer you, the things that are going to support your experience. So on that note, we're here to help. Anya, take it away.
Yes, absolutely. I'm going back in the chat just because I'm seeing some great questions, and please feel free to continue to send in your questions. One thing that I think is a great question is from Deanne, who said that she was given a farm stand and she's super excited to get going. She's wondering if there are any groups, for support or areas where she can get support to get growing, and if she's able to purchase seedlings, even if she's not an original purchaser. And the answer is
Oh,
yes.
sorry, go ahead.
I know, go, of course. Yes, of course.
Anyone can buy seedlings. I mean, we do even have people that buy seedlings from us for their traditional gardens. Maybe we just have varieties, or they like the convenience of ordering online. It's FedEx 2 day to your door, and they're already
Mhm.
germinated, which is, an amazing just resource to be able to hit the button and they're there in 2 days and they're already germinated. So it's great. Yeah, so anyone can order our seedlings and
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 if
be
you need
go ahead.
help,
Mhm.
if you need support in terms of how to get growing, reach out to our support team. In the bottom of our website, there is a link to our contact page. It's just called Contact Us. Or if it's easier, you can always reach out to us via email. I believe it is support@letusgrow.com. Correct me if I'm wrong, but pretty sure that's it. So definitely reach out to us. And Gina asked, just asked, she missed the list of how to cover an open port for when a seedling is missing. Alexis, could you remind us of those tips? I know you typically say a golf ball, potentially cover it with foil. Actually, someone on our team had a great idea and uses those like plastic, like reusable kind of shot glasses. So that's an option. But yeah, the biggest thing is just making sure that it's, closed, so that there isn't any possibility for pests to get in there and start exploring.
Yeah, everything you said's correct. We are, it's in the works of an official port cover
Yes.
because I know putting a little aluminum foil ball in your beautiful farm stand cup is not ideal, but it will work for the time. And I see Julie said she used Dixie cups. I think someone
Yes.
mentioned like the little kind of shot glass size just fits perfectly in
Mhm.
there. And again, it's just like reiterating, no, light oxygen from getting into there. Oh, Easter eggs. I love it. That's super smart and cute. What else? So let's see.
Let's
Someone said some of my seedlings didn't do well. Any tips? pH is correct. Pump settings are right. Is it possible to send photos to support so they can help that way? Anya, do you want to talk about how to get support?
Absolutely, yes. And maybe our team member can drop the link to our contact form. We want to hear from you 100%. The more pictures, the better. We can help directly, help diagnose what's going on. Potentially, there's a solution that we can offer. If we need to, send you a new batch of seedlings, we definitely want to make sure that you're set up for success. So yes, our wizard behind the scenes, if you could just drop the link to our contact form, there's a way for you to upload photos along with a message, and we will absolutely help in any way that we can.
Yeah, and
Um,
sometimes it could just be a matter of are they getting 6 full hours of sunlight? So we see a lot of people that are growing maybe on a balcony, and you just need a dolly. That way that you can rotate it and your plants can get enough sun consistently for the amount of growth that they need. Oh, Julie says that customer support is excellent. So we love to hear that. Everyone's growing environment is different. So there's never, I mean, sometimes there's pretty common issues that we're able to resolve quickly. But again, like we've seen people and they're trying to grow with glow lights on a balcony, and it's just they're not intended for that kind of setup. And maybe this didn't get that information online, and so we need to kind of course correct their setup. And then we're able to resolve those cases. So if you ever have any issues, don't hesitate to reach out. I can brag about Anya's team now and say, as Julie agrees, that customer support is excellent. Sherelle from Hawaii says she has the dolly. They get a lot of sun. So yeah, again, feel free, reach out. We've got tons of accessories and resources to make sure that everyone's growing experience is phenomenal. Sorry, give me just a question to look through.
well,
Or
sure. I
just
have
go through some more questions. Go ahead.
totally. I have one question from Debbie, who says, "I have the new counterstand set, and I love how it looks. I need more information on how to use the wicks."
Let me talk about that. So,
Yeah.
the wicks, you only need one wick per counter stand. And we have some, if our, again, wizard behind the scenes can drop the link here on how to set up your counter stand. It's
Mhm.
hard to explain without a visual, but essentially, when you plant the seedling in the counter stand cup, you're just going to slip that cotton wick into there. That way, the part of the wick that has kind of like the widest area is butted up against the plant, and then the string is hanging down into the water with the nutrients. And
Mhm.
then that video is also going to explain the weekly nutrient dosing, how many nutrients needed to be added, which off the top of my head, I want to say it's like 2 half droppers, which when you're squeezing
Mhm.
that little dropper, it only lets you squeeze up half. So it's two of those. And then once the water is running out to the bottom, you're going to refill it with more water to the refill line, which is literally on the back of the counter stand that says refill. Um, and then add your two nutrient drops again. Beyond that, it's just making sure that they have enough light. So they either need to be in a sunny window that's getting 6 full hours of sun, or if people don't have that, then using the glow lamp to make sure that they're getting the full spectrum sunlight that they need to be happy and healthy. So I hope that answers that question about how the countersink works.
Absolutely. Let's see. We've got some comments about cucumbers are great to make summer drinks. You don't have to tell me. A Pim's cup, is that what it's called? Amazing. Really great drink with oysters, but you can also just put a cucumber in water. Let me see what else we've got. We have some questions regarding pH and just measuring pH in general. Do you want to talk a little bit about our pH kit, or yeah, just how we suggest people stay on top of that?
Mhm. So we have a pH pen and a pH kit available on
Mhm.
our website. It's just a matter of preference. They both serve the same purpose. But
Mhm.
essentially, when you test your water, depending on where you live, you might have, higher pH, lower pH. It's just going to help to balance your water. And when the water is balanced, your plants are able to appropriately absorb the nutrients that you're adding to your tank. So if you're adding nutrients to a tank with pH that is out of balance, they're not going to absorb them uh, like adequately.
Mhm.
And then another thing to notice is, or to note, is that as your plants are growing, and they're sucking up all that good nutrient-rich water, your pH can, go out of balance again. So that's why we do suggest that you check your pH once a week when you add your nutrients. Do we all do it every single week? No, but for anyone asking, like someone's asking about a particular plant that's not doing
Mhm.
well, they said they do check their pH. There might be some other things there that customer service can help you with, but in
Yes.
99.9% of scenarios where I hear someone is having an issue with their plants, it's probably because they're not checking their pH. Um,
Mhm.
like I think I mentioned on the last webinar, my family is insanely competitive with their farm stand harvest now. It's pretty hilarious, but like my grandmother is just absolutely crushing it, just all the tomatoes, massive harvest. And then my aunt was having a hard time, and she's like, "Why doesn't mine look like her farm stand?" Getting envious. And I asked her, "How often do you test your pH?" Boom, we got the farm stand looking up to par for the family competition. Um, so so yeah. Great
I
questions. I know we've been talking for a full hour. I'm sure we got to most questions. There are a lot of repeat questions here. But if we didn't get to you, feel free to reach out to Anya's team.
100% reach out. More photos, the better. As Alexis said, our team is in contact nonstop with our director of horticulture and the entire horticulture team and team at the farm. So we want to make sure that we're getting you the right answer and really giving you the personalized care and seedling advice and plant care tips that we can. So definitely don't be strangers. Reach out to us. The link is right in the chat. And we're excited to continue to connect and see you at a next webinar.
And
But
very last thing, this is our second webinar ever, and we all lived through COVID, but we're still
yeah,
getting the hang of the Zoom webinar interface. So if anyone wants like a different type of Q&A experience or whatever, we're getting better and better, I think, each one, but uh, recommendations are always well received, and simply like how this webinar process goes as well. So we want to hear everything from you guys. And I see Ella says more, please. So I'm happy that
yes.
this was helpful for you guys. And yeah, we'll be sending an email with those codes for you to order the reset bundle and the farm stand. But otherwise, we look forward to seeing you guys next time. Thank you.
See you soon. Thanks, everyone. Have a great summer.
Bye. We'll
Bye.
be posting the video too.
Yeah. Bye.